All right, it is October 14th at 4:02 PM. Calling to order the Joshua Type B Economic Development Corporation and Parks Board meeting. Citizens Forum, do we have anybody speaking today?
No, sir.
All right. Regular agenda, City Secretary to administer the oath of office to newly appointed directors.
Can we pause just for a minute, if you don't mind?
Let's pause. 4:02 PM. Let's
Okay.
pause. All right.
If I can have the newly members that was just sworn in, just newly appointed, rise for the oath of office.
Like reappointed
Yes.
too? Oh, so that's me.
Oh, it's not
Anybody else?
easy getting.
Kim Henderson. Yep, and I believe that's it. Okay, if you would raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name,
I,
Kim
Dustin Dees,
Henderson,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully execute
I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office,
the
the
duties of the office.
Type B EDC/Parks
Type B EDC/Parks
for the city of Joshua,
for
for
the
the
city of Joshua,
state of Texas,
state of Texas,
and will do to the best of my ability
and
will
will
do
do to the best of my
ability.
ability.
preserve, protect, and defend
Preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution
the
the
Constitution
Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state.
so help me God.
So help me God. You're told. All right. All right, agenda item number 2, discuss, consider, and possible action on the appointment of the following positions for a 1-year term. President, Vice President, Secretary, and Treasurer.
I nominate Dustin Dees for president,
Second.
unless,
Well, that was a little too quick, y'all. That's,
do you want it?
yeah, that's, I don't know. No, I could say.
And if it's okay, you can make all the nominations and do final vote at the end if you would like.
So we need a nomination for Vice President, Bill.
I so moved. Merle is vice president. He did it this past year and I think he needs more training.
I second that.
He didn't do that great, but he.
Never did.
Practice it again.
I thought you were.
No, it's been years.
We need a nomination for Secretary as well.
I nominate Kim Carter.
Need a second on that?
Second,
Alright.
quick,
And we need a nomination for Treasurer.
not me.
I nominate Kim.
I'm no good with money.
That's easy for you to say.
All right, so I think we have a nomination
Isn't the money yet.
and a second for everybody.
Can I ask who seconded that last one?
Merle.
I'm saying.
What does a treasurer do?
Nothing.
Okay, good.
You can handle that.
All right,
M.A.
so are we good on all of that?
With him,
I don't
see.
Okay, yeah, so if all are okay with the nominations for the President, Vice President, Secretary, and Treasurer, please raise your hand. It's unanimous. Okay. Item agenda number 3, review and discuss questions related to the budget report and financial statement for September of 24. Anybody have any questions on budget report and financial statement? September.
There it is.
Peacock, is there anything you wanted to add to?
Now, it's there in front of you. We've still got 2 months of sales tax to collect. August and September, you'll run a little bit in arrearage, so we'll hit the, right now, we're at 98.72%. We'll hit the projected amount probably with a little over, give or take a few $1,000. Your expenses, not much really has happened there this month. And we'll have closeout numbers hopefully in November. That's the target date for y'all to look at for your end of year. Current fund balance of 1.6 million. And it looks like you're gonna return. Well, a whole lot of that because the playground is still outstanding, so. We'll have those exact numbers in probably November. But you're in good shape.
Good deal. All right, anybody have any questions on the, any of that, the financial? Okay. Discuss, consider impossible action on the September 17th, 2024 meeting minutes. Anybody have any question on the minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
All right. If nobody has any questions, then we're looking for to approve the meeting minutes as presented. All in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. All right, item number 5, presentation from Cunningham Recreation regarding the proposed new playground equipment for the city park.
So we have Hunter Barron and Bruce Thomas from Cunningham Recreation.
Welcome.
So, hi, everybody. Like you said, I'm Hunter Barron. So I'm the rep for Cunningham Recreation and Game Time in the Dallas area, and kind of central Texas area. And this is Mr. Bruce Thompson, who is our regional manager, regarding Game Time in the central area. So a couple things that we wanted to discuss today was, we were approached from Mr. Stephen Gill, and I know you guys kind of had a hard time in the past with your playground vendors and park vendors. So we wanted to make sure that, we could come here today and kind of explain, answer any questions that you guys might have and provide any insight that might be needed to kind of help you guys in any way. So I'll leave it up to Bruce, if there's anything that he might want to.
Yeah, so just to be clear, I'm with Game Time. As you said, I'm Bruce Thompson, and I come to you with an organization that's got 95 years history building playgrounds all over the United States. We are manufactured in Fort Payne, Alabama. And so we come forward to you with not only a strong development program on building playgrounds, but also in designing playgrounds that make an impact in communities. And so one of the things when we talked with Stephen was, with what has happened in your community and how we've done over 1,300 playgrounds throughout the United States with a national demonstration site designation, there are 5 different types that it can be designated. One area is inclusive play. Another area is play on, okay? Another area is adult physical fitness. Also, there's nature pathways and pathways for play. You're going to be designated, if you move forward with this site with Game Time, as a play on site. So first off, congratulations. This is an exciting acknowledgement. And what this means is, as an organization, we will do research on the front end in your community for the estimated impact of having a play on national demonstration site. This will be done through analysis with our team on all of the demographic data, government data on impact from a health, well-being, impact, social, as well as things on disability, obesity. Okay, this report typically generates an estimated value, which oftentimes is between $150,000 and $200,000 in positive community impact through health and well-being. Once the site is pretty well completed, we'll go back and we'll do another analysis, usually 60 days after it's completed, and we'll validate how close we were to the numbers. And then finally, at the location of the site, there will be a QR code with a placard designating this outstanding national demonstration site. And the community members, as they scan it from visits, once we get 50 scans, which is about 200 park guests, because families usually coming for, we'll get all kinds of information on how long they stayed, how much they enjoyed the park, the value that they see, how often they'll return. And what this also does, it helps you get a better understanding of the financial impact that happens from a park like this, because you'll be drawing people from around. Once it's designated, it'll be on our website with the other 1,300 national demonstration sites. So consumers, families will seek out this destination and come. And that's part of the data that we gather through what's known as cell phone data and triangulation on where they go, where they visited. So it's very powerful. It also will help us understand and can share with Stephen the times people visit the parks for better planning and whatnot. But it's a very valuable solution to your community, and it helps really them see and you see the value you're gonna get out of this park. The other thing to let you know is the timing is very important for us. We were excited when we got a chance to talk to Stephen about it. It is our time to really give back to communities. And this is our grant period. And so once a year in the fall, we have a grant program. We've been doing it for well over 20 years. And the intention on this is for communities, we provide matching funds. And the intention on this is to provide these funds for communities to bring real strong value with play, value to the kids beyond what they normally could afford. And for us, it helps us because we are a manufacturer in the US, it helps us keep our factory busy during the winter months. And so what happens is orders get placed in this window from August through October, and they're built during the months, which for many years were slower. So that's very important for our community and our employees in Fort Payne, Alabama, just as it is for your community. That's why we want to give back. Okay.
It's nice.
Thank you. Is there any questions or?
So all this equipment is manufactured in Alabama.
Yes,
No,
ma'am, that is
China.
correct. Yes, ma'am. So all of it is gonna be manufactured in Fort Payne, Alabama. Plastic, metal, everything. So everything will be shipping directly from there, nothing from overseas. Yes, ma'am. So we,
USDA inspected.
that is correct. We also have 3 rounds of quality control before it does leave the facility and get on a truck as well. So it will be go under, I mean, we have video surveillance on the trucks. We do numerous rounds of quality control, and it will be inspected before it heads out to you guys too as well.
You have your own people installed?
Yes, sir, we do. We do have a local install that is separate from Cunningham. But what we do is we find these installers and we use them pretty, for every one of my jobs, I use the same installers. And they are certified from Game Time to be able to install without going to the Game Time factory, doing the training. They won't be able to touch a piece of our equipment. So everybody has done rigorous background checks and numerous hours of training to make sure that they are well equipped to be able to provide you guys with an outstanding installation service.
Looks like a picture is worth 1,000 words. I think we got some materials up. I don't know if there's anything we want to flip to or
You
show.
don't want the picture of the playground on there?
Yeah, absolutely.
That might be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, yeah.
This is just a picture.
Pictures.
Yeah.
Something to understand, and I know this is very important, obviously with kids, safety and compliance. So all of our equipment within the Game Time portfolio and what you're buying is utilizing direct bolt technology. So what that means is it's pre-drilled at the factory for compliance. And I believe you asked that question, sir. So it will come already established. So when the installers put it in the ground, it's already compliant. And that's very critical in the safety of kids and make sure it goes in the right way to be that ASTM certified, IPEMA certified. That's the way all Game Time equipment is done through direct bolt technologies. One of what we feel is the best in the industry. Right. Okay.
And to back up what Bruce said a little bit. So the reason we utilize direct bolt, as you can see here, it is going to be a massive structure. What direct bolt allows us to do is speed up the install to, from 2 months to 2 weeks with a direct bolt system. So we'll be in and out fast. I will be on site with Stephen, with our installers, all certified who I've worked through for years and known a lot of them for a long time. They will also be on site. We will make sure that we run a professional install from everything from when you guys receive the parts, from as soon as they step on site to as soon as they leave, and even after that. As we've dedicated to Stephen, we want him to know, and you guys as well, that we are going to be here well after everything's installed. It's not a one and done with us. Anything that you guys need and, the installation process, everything, I will be here personally on site to handle anything that you guys might need. Any concerns from the public or anything like that, I'd be happy to help in any way that I can.
Gonna take 2 weeks.
So this installation would probably take around 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Yes, ma'am. So, so our goal is to,
Did we set this up?
but yes, ma'am. So we like to take, based on this, it'll probably be about 2.5 weeks at the latest degree. Are you agreeing?
Yes, of course.
But our goal is weather permitting 2.5.
The top at the bottom. There you go. Here, I can put-
So if I could step back, so just so you know, Game Time is a part of Playcore. Okay, Playcore is our parent company. Playcore owns 46 companies, all play and outdoor recreation related. So they own Game Time, we have several playground facilities, we have GTN packs, we own everything from splash parks and whatnot. We're about outdoor fitness and recreation. Okay, we are a purpose-driven organization, so everything we do begins with research. All right, so this is a very exciting playground, as you see. And for us, it's really important to understand, that's what the Play On program really kind of does. It really understands, you know, as a kid, play is the greatest connector for all of us, right? It starts physical, social, emotional, cognitive, sensory, and communication. And those 5 areas are what we all grow up and hopefully we all still play, is what gives us excitement, allows us to engage, allows us to problem solve, allows us to participate. And it's also a great equalizer for kids maybe that are having, you know, unique disabilities. And you do have some really nice inclusive elements that we've included in this playground so all can play. The Play On structure, which is so important, and it's developed through Shape On. So we have, within this research group, we have a group called CORE, Center for Outreach, Research, and Education. They're the ones that develop this type of curriculum, okay? This was done with Shape America, and it's utilized throughout schools all across America, okay? There are 6 activities. They're activities we just want to get kids off the couch, off their digital devices. We want them to balance. We want them to brachiate, which is that, oh, the monkey bar is overhead. We want them to climb, okay? We want them to swing. We want them to spin, okay? What's that? I got balance. Spinning, swinging, and sliding. How can I forget sliding? So those are the 6 areas, and that's how this site was designed. So you have, within your site structure, you have towers at 2 elevations. You have multiple slides, okay? You have a lot of swing areas. There's an inclusive world. There's a very exciting playground. It meets all the fundamentals we're requiring for national demonstrations, by which it has to go a very rigorous process for our team to approve it. I've had communities ask me before, hey, if we like to, no, it has to be because parents and families, they pursue visiting parks and playgrounds that are designated with this type of designation to visit. And that's good for your community because you're going to have a lot of activity there. They're going to come, they're going to visit, they're going to stay a while. You have beautiful restroom facilities there, and they're going to spend money in your community. Well, you tell I'm kind of passionate about it. I enjoy it. My kids, some of my fondest moments, my kids are at playgrounds. You know, and it's beautiful to really put something like this in place. And I know it's coming from a lot of, you know, scrutiny and learning and organization, and we appreciated that because we believe in that.
And that design right there is gonna fit in our original plex where we had, no,
Everything that was there originally is all gone, so we're
Gone.
starting from scratch, so this
Where's
is all
this
gonna be
gonna
brand
go?
new. Where the playground was in that same location, just,
Oh, that's
it'll
okay.
just be all new borders, so we're not having to worry about fitting it into the existing borders, there's just gonna be all new borders.
Yeah.
Borders will be added later after it's all
Correct.
installed.
This is the design we looked at last month.
Mhm.
Is, so the only thing that changed was the T-post swing set was added to it. So the shape of the surfacing changed just a little bit to fit that in there, but this is the same playground design we looked at.
And that's, and I apologize, because I can't remember. Weren't there more swings?
There was no.
Or
There
did-
was
or
no
did we-
swing
or
The
did we-
traditional style swing.
Did we
So
talk about keeping the swing set that's out there and like
Mm-mm.
redoing something with it or no?
that swing set is the one down by the baseball fields.
Baseball field.
So that one is included in this with getting new swings and new surfacing.
Okay.
No, you had those ones that lots of kids can get in. That's all they had. And then we added the swings, right?
Yes, so you have the one that kind of looks like butterfly wings in the bottom right
Mhm.
corner. That one is called a shadow runner. It's a rope swing that spins around like a merry-go-round. So
Mhm.
3 kids can be swinging on that and spinning at the same time. And then you have a double arch swing, that multiple kids can be on those. It's just a big saucer pan that they can swing back and forth. They can climb all over it. And then we also added the option for the more traditional swing set. So the swing set, instead of doing what you would see with the pole and the two legs on either side, this one, the legs are in the middle and the poles just come out. So it's just a big T. So that has two swings on there. So there's 3 swinging options on that playground. Page 21 of your packet has a picture of it. You know, see.
And one thing to point out, as you notice on that, weird structure is there's a lot of moving patterns that we're really focused on, right? The first time you get down, I'm gonna do it again, I'm gonna do it again. The great thing is how quick you get back up. So you see, they come down, they're really quick areas for re-entry. Multiple points, and then the thing versus having to run around the whole playground, get more
Yeah.
than 5 minutes because they're exhausted. They come down and they go right back up. It's really been designed for a lot of, included play, a lot of activity, and that's when they're burning calories, having a good time. 20 minutes is what they say is the right amount for exercise. National demonstration site on average, kids stay over 30 minutes. And that's a great thing for parents. They're happy the kids are getting worn out, because that's the other thing. The reason why Play-On was established was not just about, fitness. It was about, in school, well-being. We know the research is kids do better on tests when they're, getting exercise and getting out, and they feel better, they get less cold, less sick, right? So this has been a very, very strong program for many, many years since it was introduced, because it's just all about helping kids. Because the less sick days they miss, the better coming to the school, the better they do on their tests, the more energy. I mean, imagine going to school without recess.
No.
Some kids and the
My
teachers,
favorite class.
you couldn't hire teachers probably.
You're right.
They couldn't tolerate it.
That's right.
But a couple things I wanted to point out, just looking at the design right now, is one thing we really wanted to do to make sure that we continue the courts and utilize the kids that are out there. As well as we want to provide seating within the area, because a lot of the time, and what we call it, we got our Johnnies and our Tommies. So mom's gonna be in the middle trying to watch Johnny play when Tommy's over here, so we want to make sure that we have kind of a central area, that way, we have one child who's gonna be at the 2 to 5, and one's gonna be at the 5 to 12, but also make sure that the use zones are compatible, but they're not too far away from each other. So if you have one parent with multiple children, be able to watch all the kids, and with that looping pattern in place, she'll know, okay, he's gonna come right up here and come down here and then enter there, and then the other kid will be able to do the same on the smaller structure. So that's one thing we really wanted to hit on here, was making sure, one, is we have visibility, as you'll see with the towers, is we have kind of the bars that you can still be able to see through as much visibility as possible, but also creating enough space for the kids. And there are some kids with disabilities who might want to, have a quieter place. So we made sure to have under the playground as well, have those spaces where, a child can compress or, be with other children or by themselves if needed. And another thing I wanted to point out is on the plastic too, on the texture, we made sure that a lot of kids, they might get overwhelmed and stressed out. They might want to touch something or interact with something. So we made sure to have textures on the plastic and some of the rotomolded plastic. So, even going down the slides, you'll see the kids' hands on the top, brushing past the bumps. Sometimes that can provide, a sense of relief to the child or a sense of calmness too as well. So we wanted to make sure that we hit as many of these points to make kids feel safe, that they can, learn on the bigger equipment, or if they don't feel comfortable, go to the smaller equipment. We want to make sure that we kind of hit all age groups as well as the parents too, as well with the tri-spinner and some of the other elements.
Very progressive. You have obviously the 2 to 5 section, and then you have the 5 to 12. So a lot of entertainment value, play value.
This one was 613,000. 613, 656. Yeah.
Absolutely. We will have guys that they be bad, they'll have identification, and if they're not with our guys, they probably won't be able to be allowed inside unless they're with the state. For a special commission, of course.
But it will be blocked off during September.
Absolutely. That's just absolutely.
Oh, no.
Yep, we're getting them testing, so we should have a problem with that. I get that. We try to stay away from date knowledge, do fencing thing, especially on a project of this size and with the amount of site work that's going to be needed as well.
If approved, how long does it take to manufacture?
You know, it's typically, if it was building tomorrow and nothing else was in line, it's 4 weeks. We typically, because this is our hectic time of the year, it would probably be 8 weeks. Is the typical turnaround by the time the ore gets through the system process. We've had a lot of steel, we have, laser technology, automated welding, but fast, like 4 weeks, but by 8. So
It would probably be started and installed in the first of the year.
yeah, well, Texas weather, who knows?
That would be the goal, yes, sir, especially when you guys' discretion, of course, would be at the beginning of the year. But one thing I will say is, so as soon as we get the order, just to kind of walk you guys through the processes, it'll go for 3 weeks for an engineering design process, goes through all our engineering, manufacturing, everybody will take a look at it, make sure all the specs are good, then they start doing the manufacturing process, and that'll take about a couple of weeks to get to that 8-week point. And then you've got shipping and freight, and then it should be to you guys. And when it gets here, it will most likely go to the ender, will go to the installer, and the installer will bring it on site within that 8-week period.
So the 8 weeks includes the shipping time, too, is what you're
That's
saying.
correct.
I want to manage expectations because there's a lot of stuff coming into the system right now. So we'll do our best.
I thought it was the slow time of the year for you guys.
Not with this program.
Okay.
It's because it's been, as I mentioned, it's been going on for 25 years, so this is probably the biggest. Which is good. I mean, our teams run 5/10s, we easily go 7 days. They're really dedicated.
Well, it just depends. I guess Mike can make that call though.
Well, that's our production, not you guys, I'm not asking to install on weekends. Oh, no. We do it during the week. Yeah, absolutely. And we haven't done that in a while, I'm just saying we have.
If we need to go on weekends, and you guys would like us to work on weekends, we're more than happy to do that as well.
You'll be here to oversee it.
I will be on site. I will be on site to oversee it. I'm sure he'll be with me at some point too as well, but I will be on site when it gets there, when they show up. Like I told Stephen, if this, we go forward with this, as soon as it's signed, we're gonna have the installers come out. Every guy that's gonna step foot on that property will be with us when we walk out, discuss everything, where everything's gonna be going, everything like that. So there's nothing unforeseen. So we'll make sure before he ships to get out on site, closest, when it comes close to that time, we're gonna receive everything, come back one more time, start setting stuff up, go work out of job trailers, so there's not gonna be stuff scattered everywhere, everything will be, neat and tight, and when they leave, they take their stuff with them. They're not gonna leave a bunch of huge chunks of equipment, stuff like that everywhere. They're very neat. Texas Playscapes does a great job. They do a lot of work for me, and I speak very fondly of them. They're really great guys, and they do great work, and they're very professional. So anything that you guys might need from them, I can give you all their contact information. If, you guys have any questions, concerns, anything like that, they'd be happy to help too as well.
So is that the install group? And what's the name?
Texas Playscapes.
Okay.
Yes.
We'd also like to be here for the, absolutely. Celebrate that.
No,
10 weeks, right at the end of the year, so
Yeah.
probably looking at January or February, right? The install realistically.
Realistically, need to set your mind on spring.
Yeah.
It'll probably be done quicker now if there's no need to get, as long as it's open when the kids come out in the spring, I think. That's, if you're ahead of it, then you're just that much better off.
Maybe.
I'll get ship dates and updates. So as soon as orders placed, I'll get an update when it goes to the engineering design process. I'll let you guys know every step of the way from when it's as soon as it leaves that drawing, go to manufacturing, as soon as it goes to quality control to get on the truck, I'll have ship dates from ABF, from Fort Payne, Alabama. They will let me know once it gets halfway, the installer, I'll start to tell them, they'll be on the same email thread with our office, our head of manufacturing, and then the person who facilitates through ABF to get everything where it needs to go. So we will have open communication with everybody that we need to make sure that everything's on time, prompt, and ready to be delivered.
That's a good point. Your contract, you got an open start date and a finish date guaranteed.
We will have when we get to that point. When we have the contract, the city attorney drew up. But there's some things that have to be filled in before we can pinpoint those days when it's
Right.
coming. But yeah, it'll have a start and end date. That's why we'll give, they say 21 days. Well, in the winter time, there's weather you gotta allow
Yeah.
for. I would imagine something, quite frankly, to be more realistic, we'll say 30 or 45 days. Just so that we have time for all
Even
those.
that's great.
That's
Yeah,
understandable.
it's fine. It will, but the contract is the next part of this, but there's, just for me reading it and looking over this, there's already a few of things that, even though it says 21 days, that's what this says. 21 days in a perfect world is okay, but we don't live in a perfect world, so we need to fix that. There's also an option that we'll talk about, when we'll get to the contract part of it, about payment, where there's an opportunity for some savings if you guys want to take advantage of it. You may not, just because of last experience, but I would caution you, don't punish the many for the actions of the few. These guys have been around a long time. It's their stuff. Some of their stuff is in the park now. And it could be an $18,000 savings to you. So something that we'll talk about. And I'm prepared. I fully expect that the council will approve this if y'all do. I'll be prepared to sign the documents Thursday night. So people will have everything you need Friday morning to get them started.
All right, anybody have any questions? Get straight from the horse's mouth here.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, on the grant program. Okay, how's that work again? So y'all put together matching funds?
So it's based upon the purchase value of standard equipment, like the structure you have there, I believe that qualifies.
Yes, all standard equipment, none of the freestanding stuff that get attached to the immediate equipment, decks, the towers, slides, hardware, all of that will be standard, considered standard post and deck equipment. All of that will be covered on the grant and be matched. Now the freestanding stuff will not be, the wood composite little roof will not be, but everything else on the immediate unit or attached will be covered under the grant.
So, and I think what you're asking, so it's a scaling approach. So if you want to pay via credit, whatever, it's a 75% match, you get 100% match with the insurance package.
Okay.
That way you have the commitment of the product based on that, so you match 100% up to the product that's there, and that's all documented in the offering.
Okay, I was just wondering, how's that grant work?
So it's the most aggressive discounting program we offer.
Oh, you say you match,
Okay.
like we pay 100,000, you pay 100,000?
Yeah, so if an item was, at the list price of 200,000, you can pay 100,000. Basically, mark it down if you pay category.
So if it's 6,613K,
No, please, the price I think you have, you may already have some of the grant money.
Yes, so
Oh,
for this
okay.
playground, the grant covers $119,736 of the overall. Because the surfacing is not covered by the grant, and the individual, like the swings and the freestanding structures.
Mhm.
So it's covering 120,000 of the big tower structure.
yeah, okay, great.
But we also, we were leveraging the Omnia contract. for
Yes.
additional discounts.
Yes, we are. And that will cover the freestanding portions of like the tri-runner, the arch swings, the T-swing, all of that will go towards the Omnia.
So basically, where the grant's gonna come in is based on what we have to decide on saving the 19,000? No?
It's already in here.
Oh, it's already in there. Okay.
It's already in there.
Whether or not you want to take full advantage of it is
Yeah.
Depends on whether we're gonna write a check for 350,000 or 600,000.
So how do we decide if we're gonna take full advantage of it?
So there was a opportunity to do a further discount with the cash on order.
Oh, okay. Getting ahead of it.
So that's with the discount.
Okay, so, okay.
So that's with cash with order. Now, one thing we could do, is we could do the cash with order, but upon delivery. Is one thing that I could talk to Game Time and get manufacturers.
yeah, it's better.
I know that we have done that in certain cases. So I could definitely get with them and see if they'd be willing to do that. But with that cash with order, as long as we have it before the equipment is shipped or right at shipping is basically when we need it for it to be, to have that full matching cash with order, discount. Yes.
We're willing to work with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Experience. I mean, this is gonna be a very solid thing. I understand what you're getting done.
We got snake bit once, we don't want to get snake bit again. We got snake bit once, we don't want to get it again.
We made it understand. Maybe twice got one, so trust me, grab five and put them on.
With understanding, that's why we, we wanted to use the cash word to maximize how much you could get, but we weren't kind of pinpointed, like, if you guys are comfortable with paying, half or a half when it ships, whatever you guys, we could work around and work with you guys to make sure that you guys are fully comfortable and involved in the whole process as well.
I think what I would recommend to them is to take advantage of the cash order, but do half at order and half when you're ready to bring it out.
Yes, sir.
And that way, before it hits the ground here, once it's here, he knows it's all ready, then we'll pay the other half. And
Sounds good.
I think I
That's
can-
good.
I think I can sleep on
We
that.
can work with that. And the reason we did that, is to make sure, we have it ordered beforehand, also to make sure our installers are paid for.
And I'll break the news to Marcia today, I'll put it to have a check ready Thursday. For the first half, that way it's done.
Anything else?
Nice.
Good, thank you.
No.
Thank you guys very much. Very excited. Let's go, guys. And, long overdue. They're being very patient.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Spring.
And we're happy to help, I'll leave my card behind as well. So you guys, if you have any questions or anything else, I'm happy to help in any way. I will be the rep on site pretty much the whole time. Now, I will say I'm kind of limited. I was involved in the car stuff, as Stephen knows, so I don't have to currently have a vehicle right now. But I hope, I'll have a vehicle by the time this thing gets sent out, so.
They got Uber.
Yeah.
We'll see ya.
I live in Dallas, it's a little more than Uber, but, I mean, I can start walking.
I'm sure you're getting commission off this. You'll be
Yeah.
good.
But, no, I will be here, with the installers. As soon as the order is placed, I'll be in Stephen. First thing we'll do is go out with the installers, walk the site, take pictures, everything like that. Soil testing, 811, make sure that everything's clear, stuff like that, before we go in and actually break ground. So, if any of you guys, like to accompany us or anything like that, we'd love to have you guys as part of the process as well.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wonderful.
Well, I don't care, I just, if I need to have a
They're
check
gonna be
ready
here
Thursday
Thursday
night, I'll
for
have it
council.
ready. If they're not gonna be here, then
You wanna come back Thursday?
we can mail it.
Absolutely.
He's like, I got no car. I don't want a car.
Okay.
We're happy, more than happy to come back.
Yeah.
He's gonna need a ride.
All right.
Yeah, he comes, he goes. Yeah.
Here's my card, my
Thank you.
number, and everything on it. If you guys need me.
Whoops, sorry.
All right, next agenda item, discuss, consider, and possible action on the approval of new playground equipment and contract with Cunningham Recreation for the city park.
So what I'm looking for here, guys, is basically your approval to move forward, if that's what you wanna do. I would ask you to consider 50% down initially and the other 50% on delivery.
Thank you.
Totaling the 613,650, whatever it is.
56.
Six. And then authorize us to work out the details of the contract. And like I say, there's some of these that have got the language of this in here, but 21 days, I think to try to put damages on somebody on day 22 in the middle of the winter, probably not.
There's
I think it's a burden for them and
It's
it's not
unreasonable,
realistic, so. We'll work out that stuff, the delivery dates, we'll get all that stuff, get it plugged into here. And this talks about a payment schedule. We'll change all that to match what y'all decide here. And then we'll get a copy of this back to y'all as soon as we get those dates, get it worked out.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the equipment from Cunningham Recreation with 50% down and 50% on delivery. And the contract details to be worked out suitable.
Before we get a second on that, the 656, sorry. You said, they said that with the 50% down or cash on, with order or whatever, that we would get an additional discount on that, or is that built into the six?
That's what, that's
Okay.
he.
All right, yep, just wanted to
That's
double
what I
check that.
understood is already built in.
Okay, yeah,
And that they're also gonna do, he said they were gonna try to make it to where they could offer it to us as late as possible. So that we'd feel comfortable if he could.
oh, like at the time of shipping as
Yeah.
opposed
Yeah.
to.
Right.
I think we send half of it now.
Yeah.
Half of it when they call and say the stuff, when they say it's here, we have it, then when
Yeah.
they show up with it, we'll hand them a check and.
Yeah.
We'll do
Yeah.
that.
As opposed to
Discount.
that 30 or whatever.
Sorry,
But still get the
Yeah.
discount.
Nice.
that's what he's saying, so
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll confirm that before we ink this.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we're looking for a second on the motion to
I
approve
second.
the 613-656. All in favor of approving the 613-656 as presented? 50%. Unanimous. Okay. Now the city council got to do their part, right? Okay, any future agenda items for next month?
Yes. Well, I'll put them up.
Okay.
I've got an update for y'all on some stuff in the park that I'll give to you next week.
All right, then on that note, it is 4:45 PM, meeting adjourned.